Please welcome Judy Levy, A Lasting Impression. A Lasting Impression, Judy Levy.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow contestants, Madam Contest Chair, I was a heavy-duty worrier from a very young age. When I was in grade, my first grade teacher retired. All of her students were invited over to the elementary school for a retirement party. I approached Mrs. Dominion to see if she remembered me. I was shocked to find out that not only did she remember me, she remembered that back in first grade, I worried. 7 years later, and that was the impression I had left with my first grade teacher. In high school, I started every day of my 4 years in first period orchestra. My director, Mr. Badger, was excellent but tough. We were expected to take that music home and practice. If he thought that we had been slacking off, he would make us play a passage stand by stand, or even worse, one by one, in front of the entire orchestra. Before he gets started, he'd and say, "Okay, Judy, you can start worrying now. We'll get to you eventually." Boy, what a reputation I had earned myself. Unfortunately, it was true. I knew it was not a healthy way to be, but my tendency to worry basically controlled me. As I grew into adulthood, I continued to worry. But when I became a mother, I decided I'd better take control of my worry ways. I worried about the normal safety issues that most parents worry about, but I did not want to be one of those parents who suffocate their children. And I did not want my children to be like I had been as a child and young adult. Since children learn from what they observe, I decided I had better get my act together. To show you just how far I've come, recently I even amazed myself. My younger son, Eric, who turned 15 a few weeks ago, plays the violin in a tour group, which learns and demonstrates improvisation techniques developed by his teacher, Alice. This past February, the group went off to California to demonstrate at a large national convention. I volunteered to go along as a chaperone. After an unforgettable time in California, we headed home on the red eye. Given that Eric is a teenager and I'm his mom, we weren't sitting together on the plane. It was a little after 8 a.m. Eastern Time, and we were getting close to JFK Airport in New York City, where we would catch our connecting flight to Rochester. I had been dozing when all of a sudden I heard Alice's voice. "Judy, Judy," having a seizure. I leapt over the two people in my row and ran over to Eric. My son was having a grand mal seizure. He had never had a seizure before in his life. He was given oxygen until he regained consciousness, and we were brought to the front of the plane. The plane had been cleared for an emergency medical landing at JFK. I have never seen a plane land and get to a gate so quickly. The EMTs escorted us off the plane. Eric was talking and oriented by this time, but he had no memory of the seizure or of even walking to the front of the plane earlier. I convinced the EMTs to get Eric clearance to get on our next flight so that we could seek medical attention at home. As soon as we got to Rochester, we went straight to the emergency room at Strong. After 5 hours, I took Eric home with instructions for follow-up appointments. Eric has not had a seizure since, and according to the doctors, it is anybody's guess as to whether or not he will ever have another one. I have to admit, I was scared during and had tears in my eyes during the seizure. But I was able to keep a clear head and calmly tell the EMTs and doctors what had happened. Looking back, it's clear that excessive worry would not have helped the situation and would have been a waste of energy. I know that a certain amount of worry is natural, especially when it concerns those you care about. But now that I no longer let worry define me, I feel happy, productive, and more successful. And to top it all off, I've met that goal that I set for myself as a mother. Because both Eric and my 17-year-old son, Matt, are developing into well-adjusted, independent young men of whom I am very proud. I wonder, what impression would I leave with Mrs. Dominiak if she could see me now? The next time you feel the urge to worry, remember this quote from Bobby McFerrin's famous hit song. In every life we have some trouble. When you worry, you make it double. So take it from one who knows. Don't worry. Be happy. Madam Contest.